Hello and welcome to Oboe Windfree. Aoife is my guest today and I want to talk to her about the ICO project for the Kilkenny Arts Festival. Róisín Reimagined is a series of traditional Irish songs orchestrated by 6 Irish composers and sung by the wonderful Aoife. Aoife is going to be playing principal cello for this project. Hello Aoife, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thanks.
Good. The first thing I wanted to ask you, I wanted to know a little bit about your experience of these Irish songs. I know you're an Irish speaker and I know that you live in Cork and you've got a big Irish tradition in your family. So I wondered, had you encountered these songs before?
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of them were instantly just there in my subconscious. I was like, oh God, I remember that, and I remember this, I remember that. Lots of songs maybe I hadn't heard in a while, or else I recognised the tune straight away, but wouldn't have remembered the words specifically. But I'm like that with all kinds of music. I never know the words.
Okay, yeah. And you talk about the words. Are the words particularly meaningful in these songs when you kind of did work out what they were?
Yeah, a lot of them are, there's a lot of emotion there. And I mean, some of them have are really funny, actually, and there's a lot of wit, and then some of them, of course, are talking about just the love of the land and the love of the country, and I mean what you'd get in a lot of songs from different countries. But what I like about it is that you can just find out a little bit more about Irish people of the time. It's like you can kind of time travel and find out maybe what they were thinking about, and especially the kind of the funny stuff. Or there's a few that I remember as a child because they're children's songs about, people would have sung these songs and then they bounce you up and down singing it to you.
And did you do that with your children?
Yeah, we still have a lot of Irish songs that we play in the car, and there's been some great CDs made actually of Irish tunes for kids that still kind of circulate and have been upgraded a little bit. And little songs about various things like you'd have in English as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, can you tell me something about how the composers have worked with the original music? So they've kind of orchestrated them, they turned them into orchestral pieces. And also, are there any sort of threads, any things in common with the way that they've been sort of reimagined?
I don't know if there's that much in common. I mean, you could kind of sense that the individuality of each composer straight away when and especially composers that we've played their music. We've played Linda Buckley and Sam Perkin in ICO, so you can kind of feel that. I really felt that with the Perkin, maybe because we've done quite a lot of his music. So yeah, I think it's really individual, and it'll be interesting to see how that sounds. I'm actually really looking forward to hearing this project, because it's always really different when you're in it, if you know what I mean, because you're listening, but you're inside it. It'd be interesting to see what it's like on the other side, especially hearing the arrangements.
So you're playing principal cello for this project, and I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to you being part of this traditional music meeting contemporary music, contemporary classical music, and also incorporating the Irish language? How does that sort of resonate for you as a cellist and as a musician in the Irish Chamber Orchestra?
I suppose kind of as a person more than anything, who grew up in Ireland. When I was growing up, I mean, obviously classical music was quite a strong thing in my family, and speaking in Irish. In fact, it was the same in my husband Cian's family. They spoke Irish and played classical music. But the traditional music was, we didn't play much of it, but then I would have had a lot of exposure to it. In fact, my neighbours down the road, they used to always have sessions on in their house. And my friend, who's kind of the same age as me, her father was really involved in that. So we'd be down in the house getting to stay up late and drink fizzy drinks, and all the grown-ups would be downstairs singing some of these songs that Muireann would be singing. And in fact, Mick O'Brien, who's playing the pipes, used to be there in that house. And during this project, I remember seeing him thinking, oh, he's so familiar, and I couldn't figure out how. And then he came over to me afterwards, and I realised that's where it was from. And I must say, I found the few days with this project quite don't know how to describe it, but it was really nice to sit there and play the cello and in the ICO, which I love, and to be hearing the Irish language and having those two things in the same room. Usually I'm accompanying German or Italian arias, but to hear Irish language, which is such a huge part of my life, but it's not a language I use that much anymore. So that was quite special, actually, and it's really nice to hear it. And also to have a guest like Muireann, who has a name as difficult as mine. It's like, look, everybody, this is a normal name.
You might have noticed I haven't actually pronounced it today.
But when you look at Nick Athlaoich and Nick
exactly,
Aoife, it's like they look very similar. So that was a really nice moment. I was like, oh, there's a name on the program that's as long as mine with loads of vowels.
Aoife, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me today. I hope the concert goes well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And as you say, it will be a wonderful thing to hear when it's streamed.
Yeah, I think so. I look forward to it as well. Thanks for your time, Matthew.
Thanks a lot, Aoife. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.